Open source footage this morning shows the destruction of a building west of Tehran, thought to be one of the main headquarters of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, which the IDF confirmed it is now targeting. A clearer picture is now emerging. This isn't just about nukes, but regime change, which is apparently now backed by President Trump. Overnight, Israel had pounded Iranian military targets from airfields to, they claimed, what remains of its nuclear enrichment plant in Fordo. According to Donald Trump, it has been obliterated.
The strikes were a spectacular military success.
Satellite images show the craters thought to be the result of America dropping huge 30,000-pound so-called bunker-busting bombs over the weekend. The UN nuclear watchdog concurring today. There's unlikely to be much left.
Given the explosive payload utilized and the extreme vibration-sensitive nature of centrifuges, very significant damage is expected to have occurred.
But some commentators say refined nuclear material may have been removed in advance, and Iran's leadership is in no mood to capitulate. A plume of smoke near Fordo as day broke yesterday, though local officials claimed it was from a nearby military base and unconnected to the enrichment program. US bombers are now back on home soil, and details have emerged of their 36-hour secret sortie, flown while the president had been publicly saying he still hadn't decided what to do about Iran's nuclear ambitions, followed by his incendiary change of tack that, yes, this was about something even bigger. If the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, he posted, why wouldn't there be a regime change? Iran reacted defiantly, promising a decisive response.
The era of unchecked impunity has come to an end. As long as the source of the threat persists, the Islamic Republic of Iran will continue to undertake necessary, resolute, and proportionate measures to neutralize it at a time, place, and manner of its own choosing.
Iran's foreign minister visiting Russian leader Vladimir Putin in Moscow today, who has long been an ally and, of course, has his own dispute with America over Ukraine.
This absolutely unprovoked aggression against Iran has no basis whatsoever and no justification whatsoever.
Was Trump's decision lawful? And would this isolationist leader who believes might is right care if it wasn't? What we do know is that American embassies and bases across the Middle East are now on high alert. After the US assassinated Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in 2020, Iran retaliated with a missile strike on the Al-Assad airbase in Iraq, which left over 100 American soldiers with serious brain injuries. Iran could also close the Straits of Hormuz, which could send global energy prices soaring, though that would not be popular with China.
The Persian Gulf and surrounding waters are vital channels for international trade and energy transport. Maintaining security and stability in the region serves the common interests of the international community. China calls on all parties to intensify efforts to de-escalate tensions and prevent regional instability from further impacting global economic development.
The concerns of retaliation and this war escalating are huge, especially closing of the Strait of Hormuz by Iran is something that it would be extremely dangerous and not good for anybody.
While diplomats speak of de-escalating, sirens sounded across Tel Aviv as Iran showed its missile stocks still remain, but thought to be badly depleted after 11 days of Israeli attacks. Benjamin Netanyahu thanking President Trump for doing what Israel couldn't, directly attacking the parts of Iran's nuclear program that had been buried deep inside a mountain.
History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace.
G.I. Joe, go back home.
Many will say Trump has done Israel's bidding, as this intervention is precisely what he said he wouldn't do: take America back into potential war, risk American lives, and the global implications, with a deeply wounded and unpredictable Iran promising revenge, risk plunging the Middle East into even deeper turmoil. Well, joining us to dig into more of these issues and what happens next is Orna Mizrahi, formerly of the IDF and a Deputy National Security Advisor for the National Security Council, now at the INSS. Ms. Mizrahi, thanks for joining us. Do you think that Donald Trump has been played here by Benjamin Netanyahu, bumped into this?
No, I don't think so. I think that they both have good conversation. There is a quite well cooperation between both. And it was quite understandable that the U.S. is going to help in a way to Israel along the way. Of course, because Trump is unexpected, it wasn't sure that he's going to join eventually. But this is what has happened, because he understood that he's joining to Israel it's going to serve its own interests.
But he had campaigned on not doing precisely this kind of thing.
Yeah, but there are others that think that this that joining this adventure, let's say, is going to help him and maybe to bring him to a place that he wants to show that U.S. is great again. It's involved in the region, and not just power that doesn't influence anything.
But it does push obviously a deeply now beleaguered and damaged Iranian regime into a corner. There are serious risks now. For example, if any refined nuclear material had been removed from Fordo, we don't know where it is. We don't know what they're going to do with it. They might turn it into a dirty bomb if they're desperate.
Look, the main problem that we have here, also for Israel, is the fact that we don't know what is going to be with this, material that they had in Fordo and all of the centrifuges. And nobody will know eventually exactly what was damaged and what wasn't. I think that what we have done destroyed all of the Iranian nuclear program is quite is not facing the reality. And the Iranians are going to hide some. They are going to lie to everybody as they did all the time. And we have to cope with that and to understand. But maybe it will stop them of doing some of what they were planning to do, and at least will postpone their plans eventually.
So, I mean, Iran says it was complying, but obviously there are suggestions that it wasn't. What do you think Iran will do next, particularly now that America has joined the attacks?
I think that they are in a dilemma, because none of the options that they have is good. All of the options are bad. They wouldn't want to go into a continued war with the U.S. because they understand the balance of power between both. And I think they would like to come to some kind of an end to a closure with the United States, but they need some kind of reaction because it was a great attack over their nuclear facilities, etc. And the big question, what they are going to do. And we are thinking about it a lot here in Israel. And maybe it would be just against the Americans, just against Israel, and maybe just in the region. And we think it's going to be not a very high-scale reaction because they want a closure.
What they need is an off-ramp. What can that off-ramp possibly be now? The very low level may be an attack on the American forces in Syria and Iraq, or something like that.
maybe asking the proxies to do something, but we know that Hezbollah is not cannot do a lot nowadays. So it seems that they are not asking anything from Hezbollah.
So you think it might be more likely in Yemen, or people have spoken a lot about
so this is also
constricting
a very
energy
bad
supplies
option.
through the Straits of Hormuz, for example?
Yeah, but this is also a very bad option because they don't want to be engaged in in a conflict with the Gulf states. So I think it's going to be maybe very low reactions against the Americans.
Do you worry that that's wishful thinking, though?
Maybe because I'm Israeli and I cannot separate, what are my wishful thinking and my analysis. But I think
because the air raid sirens are still ringing in Tel Aviv, where you are now. You are still at risk.
Yeah, but less than it was before, and the less damage that it was before. And I think that the fact that Israel has the upper hand in this campaign is very obvious because we have damage. We can ignore that. But what we are doing is, behind what we are doing in Iran is behind any expectations, I think. Controlling all of the airspace and attacking all day long everywhere we wish to. So I think that they are in a very dire situation, and at least they would like to have. There are two options: maybe to close it, but still to have some kind of ongoing low-moded campaign that will, for Israel, it's a very bad, I think that for Israel, it's a very bad scenario to have some kind of very long, low-moded conflict, having some missiles every day of few days from Iran.
Yeah. So tell me about public opinion then. Is this going well for Netanyahu in Israel? Are people supportive of what's happening?
Everybody agrees that we had to do what we did against Iran because Iran is a threat, is an existential threat. And what was happening is that everybody is now agree with what Netanyahu has done. And the opposition here, even the opposition is with Netanyahu, saying that we don't like the leader, but we like what he did because it was necessary to do. We are all united, and the Israeli public is behind Netanyahu, and I think he's gained some more support because of this action.
Orna Mizrahi, talking to us from Tel Aviv. Thank you very much indeed for your insights. Appreciate it.
Thank you.